Okay, if you watched the last video, then you saw the introduction to blob cosines. I explained the formula and I did the first example, which you see here. Today, or this time, we're going to do the second example. So I'm looking at question number 2. Let me move that up a little bit. And I'm going to, again, label my angles just to help me as far as filling in the information in my formula. So I'm going to start, and I'll just call this angle C. I'll call this one angle A, and this one angle B. And note, it really doesn't matter what you call the angles, right? The thing is to make sure that you line up. The sides opposite each angle contain the lowercase letter of the angle, right? And this is really just to help us to fill in the formula. So if you'll note, I did this, it follows my third iteration of the formula, so that's why I labeled it this way. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that x squared, my little c, side little c, right? So x squared is equal to side a squared, so that's 17 squared, plus side b squared, so 15 squared, minus 2 times side a times side c, side b, times the cosine of angle c, which is 39 degrees. So this is my formula, my little c, that's x, right? So x squared is equal to 17 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 17 times 15 times the cosine of 39 degrees. Now, some students really want to simplify this step by step. I'm okay with that, but there is an easier way. You could type the entire equation just the way we've written it into your calculator. So you could do that, or you could take it one step further, and you can say that you know that x is equal to the square root, and then put all of this in your radicand. So 17 squared plus, it's a horrible plus, 15 squared minus 2 times 17 times 15 times the cosine of 39 degrees. Now, nobody wants to write things more often than they have to, right? And so this is why I'm a big advocate of typing these in. We have this awesome tool, UTI-84 calculator. It's such an awesome tool. It can take the entire equation all at one time, right? When I was in school, we didn't have something like that. We had to do it step by step. All right, so you have two options. You could just type in the whole radicand and then use the square root, or go straight to the square root. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have second x squared, there's my square root, 17 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 17 times 15 times the cosine of 39 degrees. And you'll notice I do like to close my parentheses and come out of my square root before I click enter. That's really up to you. Since it is the end of the equation, your calculator knows to stop there. I click enter, and I get then that x is approximately, rounding to the nearest tenth, this 4 in the hundredths place does not round the 8 up, so this is approximately 10.8, whatever my units are. Now, one quick thing, remember I did say you could just type the radicand and then do that. I want to just show you how to do that, because when you're working on the SAT, sometimes we freak out. So it's good that we know there are additional ways of simplifying something. So I could do this, right? So I'm just typing this in. I'm going to simplify that. Now I need to take the square root, because that's what x squared equals. So when I do that, I'm going to do the second square root. I don't want to round this. I want that whole answer there. So again, I'm going to use the second and then negative button. It's going to copy my answer. When I click enter, I got that 10.8 that I was talking about. Can you simplify this additional ways? Of course, I could do the 17 squared plus 15 squared. So that gives me 514. I can do the negative 2 times 17 times 15 times the cosine of 39 degrees. And I get this number. And then I'm going to add 514 to it, and then take the square root of that, right? So there are lots of ways that I can use a calculator to get to the same answer.